Today, we're going to be talking about a couple of things. First of all, the Arsenal Amazon All or Nothing series. I don't know if you've seen it. I want to know what everyone thinks about it. For those that haven't seen it, we can recap. We can definitely recap. So, yeah, so Bukayo Saka missed the penalty in the Euros. In the Euros? Yeah, in the Euros. And so this is where episode one begins. So it goes all the way back to that time and it talks about, these guys are young, so much pressure on them. Bukayo Saka, if you guys remember at the time, he had a lot of hate towards him. What was good to see is that during the Brentford game, and this is all part of the series, during the Brentford game, the Brentford fans clapped for Saka, so they cheered him on and they supported him, which I thought that was really really cool. I think we all have our preferred teams, we all have the rivalry, but when it comes to recognizing that somebody is talented, when it comes to recognizing that somebody did their best, because I mean, it's football. You can miss penalties sometimes, and it was just nice to see that the Brentford fans were cheering for him. So, shouts out to all the Brentford people out there, all the Brentford fans out there. I thought that was pretty neat. Also, episode one talks about the signing of a couple of players. So we've got Martin Odegaard, teenage sensation. Martin Odegaard. I don't know if he's still a teenager though. We've got the signing of Ramsdale, and we've got the signing of Tomiyasu as well. Two players that at the time I did not know what their game was like, especially Ramsdale. And I might have been one of those people that when Ramsdale got signed, I was a bit I don't care, because to me Leno was number one. But then episode one goes into talking about how Ramsdale comes in, and obviously today at this moment in time Ramsdale has the number one. So yeah, good on Ramsdale. He proved everyone wrong, including myself, by the way. Proved me wrong, definitely. And then also Tomiyasu. So Tomiyasu, I didn't know much about. He came in, I was like, bruh, anyone is better than Rob Holding. Just give me anyone. Just anyone. Anyone is better than Rob Holding. So when Tomiyasu came, I was like, all right, cool. Let's see what he's about. And he hasn't disappointed. So episode one, Bukayo Saka, the Brentford fans, Martin Odegaard, Ramsdale, Tomiyasu, and then obviously you got the appearances from Thierry Henry, KSI, and Josh Kroenke, which to me was a surprise because I thought the Kroenkes had better things to do besides appear on Amazon series. But yeah, shouts out to Josh Kroenke. Shouts shouts out to shouts out to Josh Kroenke. I guess yeah, that's episode one. Tell me what you thought about episode one. Episode two it kicks off with the North London derby, the 3-1 against Tottenham, and this was a very interesting episode for me, especially because when I watched the game, I didn't understand why Mikel, at the end of the game, grabbed the cameraman. So if you were watching the game as well, you'd see that Mikel grabs the cameraman and sort of points towards the cameraman, and I was just like, I don't get it, but I'm happy. I'm happy we won, but I don't get it. Episode 2 explains why that happened. So episode 2 talks about the cameraman, and I've forgotten his name. I do apologize. But it talks about how he's also an Arsenal fan, and he's also on the same side that the most of us are on, which is that, the discontent and everything else. So it was really nice to see. That's the summary of episode 2, really. Nothing else really happens in episode 2 that's really that important. And then the last episode, which is episode 3, talks about the winning mentality again. The Villa game, I think. It talks about Nuno Tavares, who's also a signing for us. Talks about his debut. Talks about his struggles, which is understandable because the Premier League is not like any other league. And that's why no one calls the Premier League a farmers league, because this is the Mecca. This is where you go to, There's often this debate about would Lionel Messi survive in the Premier League. all kinds of theories about it and why Ronaldo is the best because he's actually played in the Premier League, he's actually won in the Premier League. So yeah, Premier League is a bit different, man. But Nuno Tavares comes in, that awful game Nuno Tavares played. Was it the Villa one or the West Ham one? I can't remember. Absolutely getting chewed up um, by the wingers. It was a really horrible game to see, and you couldn't help but think that maybe Nuno Tavares wasn't Premier League quality. Um, but yeah, so on that side of the wing, it's usually Kieran Tierney who was out with an ankle injury. So you get a little bit of Kieran Tierney there as well, and then you get the Liverpool game as well. Yeah, so that's basically episodes 1 to 3 of that documentary, which I thought was pretty cool. I must say I was pretty hyped. I was pretty hyped. I was definitely looking forward to it, and I hope the other episodes are just as good. I hope the other episodes are just as good as well.